Right, welcome back to my channel, everyone. First of all, I just wanted to say, as per usual, thank you so much for the comments on last week's video about my hearing aids. Yeah, it turns out that it's all good, and the thoughts that we have in our head sometimes are just in our head. So, yeah, thank you for being so lovely. And, yeah, I just love to chat to you about everything that's going on in my brain. Because, gotta let it out somehow. And yes, I'm having therapy, but this is also great. So thank you so much. So the other day I went on TikTok and I actually went live, which I don't usually dare to do because on TikTok anyone can join, like anyone, not just your followers, like strangers. And obviously that invites ignorant people that don't usually see disabled people, so it's always a bit nerve-wracking. But it went really well and it was really lovely. However, there was a few comments that were like, what's wrong with you? Like, no offence, what's wrong with you? Not being rude, but what's wrong with you, blah blah. And it really made me think about, basically, when I got that question, I was like, oh, nothing's wrong with me, but I have this disability. I've got loads of videos about it if you want to check it out, blah, blah. And it really reminded me of back in the day, especially in my 20s, where I wouldn't know what to say when someone asked me an intrusive question. And I would feel so, like, on the spot and not even expect a question like that I just answered it because I was on the spot. I didn't know what to say. I wasn't confident enough to be like, what do you mean, what's wrong with? Like, nothing's wrong with me, and just continue. So I thought I would talk a little bit about tips on how I deal with it now. And just to give you context, if you don't know what kind of questions disabled people get, I mean, it can be anything from what's wrong with you, what happened, asking questions about disability before even saying hello sometimes. And that is both in person and online. And then it can be like, how do you go to the toilet? Can you have sex? Like, there can be so many questions that you're just like, oh my god, I don't even know your name. Why would I answer these deeply personal questions? This is how I deal with it. You can take it or leave it. The first tip I would suggest is ask them to repeat the question. So if someone says, can I just ask, what's your disability? You can go, sorry, what did you say? And it just gives you a minute to be like, oh, okay, here we go. This is someone who's about to ask some personal questions. And it also makes them think, why am I asking this question? And if they're a kind of person with any kind of conscience, one of the two, they might rethink it and think, do you know what, I won't ask that. But usually they carry on anyway. If you're going to be that person and ask, they're going to ask again. But it does give you a minute just to be for a second. And then the second tip I would say is ask them why they're asking that question. So the only reason why someone should be asking such personal questions is if you have a medical appointment that directly impacts what you're doing in that appointment. So for me, if I'm transferring out of my wheelchair, someone might ask what disability I've got so that they can, help me in whatever way I need. That is the only time where someone might need to know my disability, or if I'm getting a scan or whatever. If you say to someone, sorry, why are you asking that question? It kind of, again, puts the attention back onto them. It makes them question, would I actually ask anyone else's question? And, if it is, how do you go to the toilet? You can be like, why do you need to know why I get to the toilet? It can be really scary and you think, oh, but once you start practicing it, it's like, yeah, I have a right to ask why you're asking that question. Because if you dare to ask me that, I'll dare to ask you that back. And that really does work because I've tried and tested that. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm just wondering. I'm like, all right, yeah, well, I don't want to talk about that today. So you can kind of choose how you answer that question. And then the third way I deal with it, if people keep pushing, I just say what I'm doing in that moment. So if I'm just in the supermarket and someone says, "Can I ask what your disability is?" I'll say, "Sorry, I'm just doing my food shop at the minute." So it kind of tells them that, like, I'm in a supermarket, we're not chit-chatting, and I'm actually really busy. So it just is really blunt, to the point. And, you know, we're not having a chit-chat. It's not a chat show, is it? I'm getting me bits and bobs for cupboards. So, no, not today. And I love that because it doesn't feel too bold. It's just, "Sorry, I'm busy. See you later." But something I did want to touch on from, that moment in TikTok when I answered that question was, I did feel a bit of guilt and embarrassment that I had even acknowledged that question. And I wanted to just reassure people that also get these questions is it's okay if one day you answer it. Like, don't be embarrassed that you're like, "Oh, God damn it, I wish I didn't do that. I'm teaching people that it's okay to ask, and I should have said this and I should have said that." And I just think you got to give yourself grace. Do you know what I mean? You can't be on it all the time. You can't be in publicity mode and say the right thing all the time. It's gonna be up and down, and you're not always gonna be on, and that's okay. If one day you just kind of want to give someone a strap line just to shut them up, then so be it. Don't kick yourself about it, and just think, next time someone says that, I'll try this instead. So yeah, I think it's a shame really that disabled people are put on the spot, and well, it's more than a shame, it's really annoying actually. It is a shame that then that negativity is internalized, and you can be hard on yourself because you think, "I didn't handle that well enough," or I didn't do this right, and I should have done it this way." And something that I'm learning in my 30s now is that it's okay. It is okay. You're not Mary Poppins. You're not teaching the world. You're just doing what you want to do. So however you deal with it is how you deal with it. And if you want to work on it, great. But if you don't want to work on it and you just want to do what you need to do to survive, then that's okay too. And I know I sound a bit like, Snow White with all the birds around her, but it takes a long time to be confident enough to do what you want to do. And it's not an overnight thing. So be gentle with yourself. And I would love to know, how do you deal with stuff like this? Basically, I've been quite vocal on TikTok at the moment that I have earned enough money on there to now get therapy. Because of, all the stuff that I have to deal with people, and it's really helpful just to talk through stuff that people say and how I deal with it. And something that I am learning in therapy now is that it's okay not to be this angelic disabled girl all the time. One day I might actually try and be a bitch, but I'm not there yet. And I don't know if I want to be there. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be an angry person, but I guess it's keeping all that inside isn't doing me any good at the moment. So it's trying to find a way to take on people's ignorance and make sure I am not even letting it out, but I'm acknowledging that it happens, and negativity is okay to feel. So yeah, it's a whole journey. But I can keep you updated on my therapy if that would be of interest to people. Very much enjoying it, and I think it's definitely changing my mindset. And yeah, just giving me a bit of clarity is really nice. Anyway, I'll leave it there because I've waffled on. But let me know if you found this interesting, and is there any other topics around this conversation about intrusive questions? Let me know, and we can cover it in a further video. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!